Hi everybody, Simon here, Solomon's Tales, off again. So this is season 2, episode 2, I think. Solomon lands into Bangkok. He's got a year ahead of him. He's planning a year wandering around Asia. So he's landed, he's got a tourist visa, 1 month. His thoughts at this point are the ex-girlfriend, and I've forgotten her name. What name did I give her? Was it Kay? Let's call her Kay, I can't remember. The girl he broke up with. He thought, I'd like to see her and have it out with her, a bit of an argument. And so he decides to head straight to Pattaya. Now, okay, he's got money in the bank, but it works out. He's got, let's say, $1,000 a month for 1 year to be able to survive a year. $250 a week. That's not a lot, but again, the exchange rate back then was double what it is now. So that money today in 2017 would be $2,000 a month. So you could see it's enough, but still had to go careful. Plus he had to pay for visas for the year, maybe some flights going between the countries, and transport, taxis, motorcycle rental. So it's not just a case of food, and then there's accommodation, which is a big chunk. Now that 11 and a half, 12 hour flight over is when he planned 2 month visa, 1 month visa, 1 month extension. So he thought 2 months in Pattaya, then probably go to Cambodia. So that's penciled in his mind. Lands Bangkok, straight outside, up to the different level or down, I can't remember. Taxi. Now he had to be a bit of a cheap Charlie, and the way of doing it at the airport, if you go to the taxi queue, there's a little bit of extra money added on for the taxi to pay for the airport guys, and by going to the departure area where the taxis pull in to drop people off, if you get lucky, you can walk across, ask the taxi driver, Pattaya, and they do it a bit cheaper. That's what he did. And back then I think it was about 800 baht down to Pattaya. Now his flight was coming in early evening, well, end of the afternoon. So taxi ride down to Pattaya, and again, back in that day you didn't have the road system you have now, so it took a couple of hours. He got in, and he went to Soi 8 off Beach Road. Just inside on the right there's a couple of cheap hotels, and just walk straight in off the street. The time of the year that he went was September, so it was just starting high season, so the prices start going up. But he got a hotel for that night for about 900 baht. He just got 1 night. He thought he was going to hit it hard to find a room the next day. Maybe he'd need a second night, so he just said to them 1 or 2 nights, and they gave him a room, and he went straight to the room and crashed. Didn't even bother with food or anything, just totally crashed out. The flight over and everything worn him out. He'd eaten a bit on the plane and snacks here and there, so crashed in the hotel. Morning, first morning of the year. What a great feeling he had. Sun was out, lovely and warm. Came out of the hotel, there was no breakfast at that hotel, and he's in Soi 8, so he thought, I'll go up to Second Road, there's lots of cafes, restaurants around there for a breakfast. He walked up to Second Road, it's not far, is it, a few hundred metres, and across the road, breakfast. Not the same as back home in the UK or wherever you're from, it still can be quite a nice breakfast. That is a bit of a challenge when you're in Thailand, is you're hunting around to find the best cafe for your breakfasts. Who has the best sausage and bacon and eggs? So we got a breakfast. Early morning, 9:30. So not a lot happening. Bars don't tend to start opening till about 10, 11. And he heads down, he's got a bit of a walk on the beach. First day. Acclimatise. Have a look again, he hasn't seen the beach for a while. And as he's walking along the beach, he's thinking, this is so much better than being sat in that taxi, working nights, depressed. Gorgeous sunshine, sea, beach, not that pretty a beach, but it's okay. Girls everywhere, foreigners everywhere, everyone starts to wake up. And he just thinks, this is why I love Pattaya and Thailand. It's just the hustle and bustle. Everything starts and it's busy, great weather. Oh, it's almost paradise. He has to find a room. He's going to be there for 2 months. How does he find a room? Now he can go start talking to girls from the bars. They all share rooms together. They know where the rooms are, the cheaper ones. What's the cost? Just starting high season, a small room on your own with aircon, you're probably going to pay 4,000 or 5,000 baht a month. If you're in a hotel at 1,000 baht a night, that's 30,000 a month, so you're immediately saving. He wants an aircon room, a bit of luxury, not too fussed where it is because he can rent a motorcycle, and he thinks, right. From trips before, he worked out that anywhere near the beach is going to cost you money, more money. So the further inland you go, the cheaper it gets. So first thing, rent a motorcycle. Now, today in 2017, I'm pretty sure you have to present your passport, pay a deposit. They might even keep your passport, I'm not sure. But back then, a photocopy of your passport would suffice, and it was about 3,000, 2,500 baht a month for a motorcycle, scooter, little 125 Honda or whatever it was. And on the beach road there's loads of people renting bikes, and they're all the same price. So first morning, walks onto the opposite side from the beach, along probably middle of the beach, between Walking Street and Dolphin Roundabout, halfway along. So Central Road comes down to the beach, somewhere around there, between Soy 8 and Soy Post Office. He finds there's a few bars there and a guy selling renting bikes. Honda, was it Honda or Yamaha Novo? It was a Novo anyway. Quite a new one. Guy was happy, 2,500 baht for a month. And he was straight with the guy. The guy spoke quite good English. He said to him he's got to find a room. Once he's got a room, he'll let the guy know where he's staying. And the guy was fine. They gave him a plastic helmet, which he immediately threw under the seat. You lift the seat up and you can put a helmet underneath, lock the seat. It was, back then, you still had to wear your helmets, but nobody did. And there wasn't that many police stopping people for no helmet. Just maybe once a month they'd suddenly have a spell. And if you did get caught then with a no helmet, it was 200 baht and away you go. So threw the helmet in. He's got his shorts on and his t-shirt. No safe motorcycle riding gear. Taking his life into his own hands by riding around Pattaya on a scooter without safety gear. But in Pattaya you just go from your room to a bar and you drink. You even ride when you're partially drunk. Your brain seems to disappear and you don't think. so many accidents on motorcycles, scooters, where foreigners have come off and they've all down their leg, it's scraped. But it's too hot for jeans and long trousers, one would say. And that plastic helmet, would it save you? You probably would. Short sleeve shirts or vests. So if you come off, you're going to rip yourselves to shreds. Did Solomon take insurance out? Yes, he did. He got travel insurance for 1 year. I think it was a multi-travel. But he managed it in such a way that multi-trip, I think it was. But he got insurance. And the way it worked, if he had a problem, it would cover him for that year. So he did have insurance. Wise move to have insurance. Anyway, he gets the bike, chucks the helmet under the seat. Right, going to ride away from the beach. Going to go over second road, further back to third road. You've got the huge, I think it is actually called Sukhumvit, Sukhumvit Road as well, like Bangkok, but whatever the main road is that goes from Bangkok down to Rayong and Koh Chang and things. So he's heading towards that big road, away from the beach. And the best places, cheapest, are going to be the big sort of buildings with hundreds of rooms. Now, from his hedonistic days, he did visit a few rooms. And he remembered, now I think it's called View Tale, but it might be wrong. But it was a big block. I think it was 2 blocks maybe. So it was after second road, third road, somewhere up there at the back. Was these huge blocks. So he went there. Found his way there. Quite easy to get there. Again, there seems to be different offices looking after different rooms. And just by walking around the one building, there were some shops at the bottom and laundrettes and little supermarkets. And I'm sure there was a couple of blocks. But he walked around, a couple of offices. They all had rooms available. And on about the third office he got to, a woman had rooms, third or fourth floor, for 3,000 baht a month, and with aircon was 4,000 baht a month, included it. Doesn't matter how much you use the aircon, 4,000 baht a month, water, electric, everything, all in, just one payment. But they wanted 3 months rental, and he said to the lady he was there for 2 months, maybe more, but wasn't 100% sure. They were a bit reluctant, but after scratching their head, they had empty rooms, they'd be daft not to take his money. And he got a room, 4,000 baht a month with aircon. Okay, not the prettiest room, it was dark and dingy. No balcony. Well, there was a sort of doors open, but with just a railing across. Well, there was about a foot balcony. Wasn't much. You could just stand there on the balcony, just about, and possibly put some clothes out to hang to dry, but not much room. 35 square meter room, double bed, it wasn't furnished, it did have the double bed, had the shower room, a TV stand, a coffee table, a couple of seats. So it was furnished in a way, but no TV, no internet back then. But he wasn't fussed about internet anyway back then at all. So it wasn't exciting. It was a pretty miserable place. But anyway, 2 months he thought it'll be fine. And he just paid 2 months money. They were fine with that. 8,000 baht, there you go, no other deposits, nothing. Here's a key, it's your room. He's got a bike, he's got a room. Within 6 hours, the first day in Pattaya, he's sorted. How good is that? It's that simple. You can just turn up into anywhere in Thailand. Quick wander around, quick talk to locals. You'll find the places away from the, further back from the tourist spots. You'll find rooms anywhere in Thailand. Price, 2017, that room that you just rented would probably be 6,000 baht a month, 7,000 maybe. If you wanted a proper, like a condo, nice rooms, you know, a really nice one, you're probably paying about 13,000 baht a month, up to 15 for a nice place. You might even get a bit of a small house for that, but that would be long term, you know, if you're signing for a year's lease. Bit of a deposit, yeah, but for less than 20,000 baht a month you can get a really nice place anywhere in Thailand, even in Bangkok in 2017. But back then, 4,000 baht. Okay, bit of a dingy room, but it's fine. And there he is, halfway through his first day, sorted. He's back in Pattaya. Where's that girlfriend? X. Catch you on the next one.